York Jets and the New England Patriots. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. A moment ago, the pride of Massachusetts, the Patriots, introduced to this, as always, sold-out crowd as they get set to go head-to-head with the New York Jets. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, we look at this Patriots team entering play. It's been a great start to the season, back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jets, they come in at an early crossroads here, facing a tough opponent on the road where a loss would make them 0-3.
And when you start that way, doubts really start to creep into a locker room, and guys start to battle each other instead of worrying about winning games.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So now here come the Patriots to take over on offense. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3 quarterback.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 11 yards there, first down.
The New England Patriots remain consistent on offense with a stable of running backs. They added Sony Michel, the 31st pick of the draft in 2018, to that stable at the University of Georgia, mainly for his ability to run inside the tackles and add a little thump to their game.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. He'll look to throw. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going, runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed. But they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Here are the starters defensively for the Jets. They've been pretty solid against the pass. Toward the middle of the pack, number 14 in the NFL.
They'll take that play right there each and every snap because throughout this season, they've given up some big plays. To be able to hold someone to no gain, oh, yeah, they'll take that one all game long.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Rolling, and he can't find brought down. Brandon Copeland coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, this defensive unit certainly picked a great time to make a stand. Back-to-back sacks, starting with 1st and goal. I have to believe that they'll continue to bring the pressure on 3rd down.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, there in coverage.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from there.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll run here with a former Steeler. This is Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell, it's a foot race, and all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Le'Veon Bell, his first touchdown of the new season, and the Jets have taken the lead. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. In last week's game for Kittle, there are the numbers. 5 catches, 95 yards, and a score.
And I don't know about you, partner, but if anybody ranks me in the top 10 in anything, I'm really happy. And that's exactly where he is now. Number 10 in the league in receiving yards.
11 yards there, 1st down. The former 7th-round pick, Julian Edelman, just continues to have such a productive career.
And has made himself into a receiver. Remember, he was a college quarterback, and not just a productive one, a very good one.
At Kent State, right?
Yes, a great leader, a guy who could make plays with his feet and his arm. Got to the NFL and had to convert into being a receiver and was drafted that way. And that conversion, oh boy, it's been good.
On 2nd down, Michelle. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far?
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But I think the Patriots are going to hang on to the football. They do. They get it back.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
A good pickup there. 18 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy.
And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Jordan Jenkins coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. A reminder, coming up later tonight, a lot of buzz about this game. The Browns, they've been doing some travel. Back-to-back primetime games for them. Monday night they were in New York. Now the Browns head to Los Angeles to take on the NFC champs, Browns and Rams, an 8:20 kickoff Eastern time, 5:20 in California. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. The tight end Cameron Brate was the target, and it's second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, he's got a couple more downs to play with.
And the pass complete to Anunwa. The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. Darnold. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's the rookie from Vandy, Ron Williams, with a pick. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Blowing that play up was Henry Anderson.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The throw here going to be complete to Gordon. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A gain there of 21 yards.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
4th-round guy, and many thought that's about where he would go, but I think he's got some upside, right?
He can come right in and be what they call a core special teams player, play on all 4 phases of it, and have a chance to work his way into the lineup. I think a year or 2 down the road, they could have a solid starter.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break.
And he's over the line and into the end zone for a Patriots score. James White, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And once again, the Patriots are back out in front. And there you go, nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
That time a 6-play drive. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. This Jets offense heading back out there now, led by Sam Darnold. He's likely still kicking himself from the interception last drive that wound up leading to a go-ahead score.
And he's going to assume all that came with that one, all right? That's all on him, but he also knows he's got to erase it from his mind and get back out there. This drive, very important.
The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A very solid gain of 27. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. He's got Anderson right side. This gain not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways. Might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position, you have to be. You just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball.
It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops. You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time. NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3. And this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over. And it's a big kick, but now we just, if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something that went wrong because they have plenty of leg.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. Actually broke that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB. This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Now back to throw. Step, and the ball is knocked out, and it's scooped up by the Jets. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. He had gained really good yardage, but that's what you tell your quarterbacks, right? Get down after you've got the run.
You don't have to prove your toughness. You know, I think that's what a lot of coaches are trying to preach to their guys. Get the yardage, get down, protect the football, and protect yourself from extra hits as well.
The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Darnold now to throw. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. This quarterback now 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a first down. Here's Darnold. Anunwa's got it, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 23 yards, the final tally. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Darnold to throw again. On the catch, it's Crowder. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. Dawson's kick is up and through. And that will do it for this first half. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And New York set to take the field. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
On second down, it's Bell.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. They'll try and run for it with Bell. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Pats will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Throw over the middle, secured by Gordon. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Now this throw caught left side. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
Another nice gain, 16 yards there at a 1st down again.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both.
And he's going to lose a yard or 2, taken down behind the line. Brandon Copeland able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Here's a quick hitch route and the throw complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
First catch there for Thomas. It's a 1st down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
1st down, here's White. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
When Leonard Williams was picked in the 2015 NFL Draft, I compared him to Merlin Olsen, and I got a lot of grief about it. Did you just see that play there? Did you see how he made that move and made that tackle? That was Merlin Olsen-esque.
Yeah, I just perked up when you said Merlin Olsen.
Yeah, a lot of people said, hey, that's too much, too far, and maybe it is early, but I think this guy has a chance of fulfilling that.
A field goal would get him the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down. They'll drop the throw. Got his man, that's Harry. And he's got the 1st down as he gets it to the 8. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short. Blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a 1st down.
And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. Sonny Michel, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Patriots have moved out in front. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we to slow down this running game because on that particular play, they had no answer.
A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it was Sony Michel's touchdown scamper that polished the drive off. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Le'Veon Bell and the Jets ready to begin their next drive. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the one touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score here in the third quarter. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. A gain of 3, second down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now.
And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Darnold and the Jets come up 3rd and long following the sack. Now Darnold, and Brate has it over the middle. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Edelman set to return. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Patriots take over.
Set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Sacked there by Avery Williamson, the linebacker.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Charles, thinking back to what you said in the first quarter, that part of the magic elixir for a road victory for these underdogs was going to be winning the turnover battle. Well, they only have one right now. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, not exactly playing to the form that I subscribed, right? When you talk about winning that turnover battle, that evens things out, especially for a road team, especially for a team that's an underdog.
That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted him or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Now Michel. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A gain there of 21 yards.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And a solid run down inside the 30. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Well, apart from Kyler Murray, not too many mobile QBs in this year's rookie class, but some good scrambling there to get the first. On 1st down, it's White. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Now, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this.
And he will score! Touchdown, Patriots! It's their quarterback with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Patriots add 6 to their lead. He doesn't need a lot of space for an electric run. He showed that there. Heck, they told us this week they were hoping he would break a big one. He just did.
And what did his offensive, remember we talked with the offensive line, and one of the guys, one of the stalwarts said, I don't even have to make a great block for him. If I just breathe bad breath on the guy in front of me, often that opens up enough space for him to go.
Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. This is taken near the 13. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now out come the Jets. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now the throw pulled in by Anderson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's a gain of 13 as they try to whittle away at this 13-point deficit. This quarterback now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. Here's Darnold. Out left to Anderson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 30 yards.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover one. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 1st and 10, Darnold. This is Anderson over the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 10 more there and another first down. Now it's Darnold. And Brate, the tight end's got it. And he gets this inside the 10 to the 9. It's also a gain of 9. And it's a rush to the line right now for the Jets.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he could break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Patrick Chung. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. And it's Michel once again. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now a 1st down carry. It's Michel. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here. 2nd and 11. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them. Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this third down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. One last throw now for Darnold. The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes. So this will wind up a victory for the New England Patriots. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Patriots, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for the Jets.
S-T-R-O. Yeah. How many of y'all came to win? Oh, they asking my name, huh? You ready? S.